Now, as y'all know, I'm gonna be breaking down today some of the critical parts of these schedules for some of these college football teams, right? So we're still on Georgia, and the critical stretch I want to break down is going to be this one right here, right? Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Ole Miss, right? Why is this a critical stretch of the season for Georgia, right? Because you look at the early part, okay, you play Arkansas, you play Oklahoma, John Here and crew, right? But Alabama, Auburn, Florida, and Ole Miss, that's going to tell you how good Georgia's really going to be, right? Because that's a split. Two of the games are at home, two of the games are on the road, right? Alabama is a team that you throttled in the SEC championship game last year, right? 28-7, I believe the final score was. But they went into your stadium last year and beat you in Athens, right? A few years ago, you played them in Tuscaloosa and you still lost. So during the season, regular season, like Georgia has had their struggles against Alabama. But when it matters and it counts for championships and stuff like that, Georgia has been able to win. But that's going to be a big game on the road October 10th, Saturday, going up against the Crimson Tide. Okay. Then you have Auburn. Okay. Auburn's going to be a very interesting game. They coming from Jordan here, coming to Sanford Stadium, excuse me. So that was important because it's going to be like, how good is Auburn? Is Auburn actually anything? Byron Brown, Alex Golish, will they be a team that is better than what we've seen in previous regimes? Right? Can they take a step forward? Right? That's going to be another critical home game. Then you got the Jacksonville game. Obviously, everybody knows about how big this one is. Played after the bye week every single year against Florida. Right? So that's a rivalry you've handled. But everybody's thinking that this might be the year that Florida takes a step forward. This might be the year that Florida makes a big difference, right? This might be the year that Florida takes a step forward with John Summerall as a new coach, doing a good job recruiting, right? Bringing in talent, vetting the coaching staff. Buster Faulkner's new offensive coordinator, new coaches, right? Having to earn the Florida Gators logo. They thinking Florida's going to be a little bit different this year. You brought back Jaden Ball. That was a big time pickup for Florida, not letting them go in the portal, right? That's going to be a big game because you've throttled Florida. Can Florida finally turn the tide with a new head coach? Right, what will be the result of that game? That'll be very intriguing to see with the SEC race. Then Ole Miss. Won't be easy. We know a few years ago, Georgia had obviously Carson Beck. They went on the road and got ran out the building when they went to, Oxford, essentially. And Ole Miss beat them boys down bad. Last year they won the regular game against QB1. He's coming back for another year. They lost in the Sugar Bowl when it mattered to get to a semifinals. Right? Gonna be very intriguing to see what the result of this game is gonna be, right? Because one can have some implications in the standings, of course, and who gets obviously to Atlanta. So that would be a very critical game going on the road to Ole Miss. So I think that 4-game stretch for Georgia is going to matter a lot, right? You look at Missouri, South Carolina, like you should be able to handle business. South Carolina could be interesting, always going there late. Williams-Brice Stadium on the road is always tough. But that 4-game spot with Alabama, Auburn, Florida, and Ole Miss, who will likely be at the top of the standings, that's going to be a very crucial stretch for the Bulldogs. And they're going to have to, I think, go 3-1 or 4-0 in that spot if they want to get to where they want to go. It's a very critical spot for the Bulldogs. All right. We will leave that there. Continue going